Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders and entrepreneurs. Today we have with us Shweta Shah, founder of the Gourmet Runway, a fashion, food and travel blog. This also is the first show in our 6-part series of the Blogger Edit, a partnership between the Entrepreneur Podcast and the Digital Rosé, showcasing the journey of blogging. Welcome, Shweta.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
All right. So just a brief intro. Shweta spends time between Sydney and Bombay, graduated from the University of New South Wales and did a master's in fashion and luxury from the Università Bocconi in Italy. Prior to Gourmet Runway, she was a stylist and model at Prasad Bidapa's model management and an accountant at PwC. So again, Shweta, welcome to the show. Do tell us a little more about yourself and what's going on in your world today.
Well, as the listeners would have heard, I've done pretty much everything from accounting to modeling to blogging. And I think my aim has always been to try out as much as I can in our short lives.
Okay.
So, which is why I started this blog. It gave me such an opportunity to explore such different facets of a variety of jobs such as editing and writing and photography, as well as sales and marketing. So I'm kind of doing everything here. And yeah, that's just a bit about me. I'm born and brought up in Australia.
Okay.
And modeling took me to India for the last 4 to 5 years. And traveling is a passion. So I've been pretty much everywhere around the world. And here I am today.
Excellent. So coming to Gourmet Runway, so what inspired you to start it?
I think while I was modeling, I realized that I have this real passion for fashion and as well as yoga and health, which goes hand in hand with modeling. So I needed somewhere, a platform to kind of put out my knowledge and my view on these topics, yet not find to just one thing. Because I love like an array of things, as well as food. I'm such a foodie. So I needed somewhere where I could just vent. And I think the people around me were just sick of listening to me. So one of my friends suggested that I start blogging. So I did. And I think everyone around me was much happier for it because I was just venting on my blog. And I think people really enjoyed what I was writing and the way I was writing. So that's where Gourmet Runway was born.
Great. And how did the name come up?
Again, I think I was a born foodie coming from a typical Punjabi background. Growing up, I think traveling a lot really had a huge influence on me becoming a foodie. And I've always been a complete fashionista. I remember growing up with Vogue and Elle and Harper's Bazaar all around me. So, yeah, it just combines food and fashion so perfectly. And technically, a gourmet runway can be a luxurious platform for pretty much anything. It's a runway for anything gourmet. Okay. So I can write about anything luxurious.
Got it. So how long have you been blogging for? And what do you particularly blog about? So in the Gourmet Runway, for example.
I actually started blogging about 5 years ago.
Okay.
But because of time restraints and I wasn't able to be consistent, I kind of gave up on that blog. But with Gourmet Runway, I started Gourmet Runway in January of this year. So it's actually quite new. And I basically blog about fashion primarily, but now we're trying to evolve into a more global and an all-encompassing kind of blog with a lot more on the lifestyle and health as well.
All right. And coming to the blogging itself, so what's the best part about it and what's the aspects you don't like about it?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is I can blog whenever I like.
Correct.
From wherever I like. And working at PwC made me realize about myself that I don't like having hours where I'm allowed to work from like 9 to 6 and I have to be in an office. So those are the two things I was looking for when I was trying to build a career for myself. And so they're definitely the best part of blogging, as well as, of course, the creative side, coming up with writing ideas, styling shoots, and photography, and all of the other creative stuff I get to do.
All right. So, what are the topics that interest you? I mean, what inspires you to create new posts, and rather, how regularly do you post also?
Okay, so I try and post religiously twice a week because
Twice a week,
I do
okay.
have the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have the time to do so. So that's what my aim is at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
With the topics, I think I draw a lot of inspiration from my past experiences as well as my travels. So I have done a yoga training course in Mumbai,
Mm-hmm.
as well as a meditation course in Mumbai. Also, being a part of the fashion industry, being in close contact with beauty products. So all of these things really inspire me, and also whatever's trending at the moment. So, for example, my latest blog post was 10 Christmas gift ideas, because that's what people are looking for right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best thing of being a fashion blogger?
Yeah, pretty much what I said before. Just being able to work in my own time from wherever I like. Like, for example, on Tuesday here in Sydney, it was really hot, so I made my way with my laptop, and and I worked from the beach. So it was amazing being able to kind of live my life in the way I want to, as well as make a living out of it.
All right. Is fashion a part of your everyday life?
Absolutely, absolutely. From my pajamas to my workout gear to my shopping gear, yeah, fashion is definitely
Okay.
part of my everyday life.
So food is one of your blog's main categories. I mean, so being a model also, how do you draw that fine line between food and staying fit?
Well, it was really difficult, which is why I stopped modeling.
Okay.
It was a big part of it. I realized that growing up, food was such a passion. I love cooking and baking and eating. So when I was modeling, I was quite restricted to salads and health juices, and it wasn't a very fun time for me. Although I really enjoyed the fashion aspect of it. So yeah, as soon as I realized this, I modeled for about 3 years, and then I moved on because food is just such a big part of my life. I couldn't let it go.
All right. So, I mean, being just the one person doing all this, so what are the other aspects of the blog that you take care of?
I think the non-fun aspects, or the more admin aspects, include marketing, a lot of social media marketing, a lot of website optimization, which is stuff that I really didn't know much about before I started blogging.
Correct.
Also networking and getting in touch with brands for collaboration. So a lot of sales, as well as a lot of analytics. So you're always looking at what kind of audiences are reading the blogs and trying to target them even more. So all of that stuff is not as fun as the creative stuff, but it has to be done as well.
All right. Now, a blog being very focused on pictures, of course, you're a big Instagrammer also. So, I mean, what's the some of the apps you're using to edit, or like what's the photo editing routine that you have?
Okay, so I think with photo editing, it's ever evolving. Like there's always new apps popping up, and when you watch like YouTube videos from a year ago, those apps are almost redundant now. So I'll tell you what I'm doing at the moment. It could change like a week down the track.
Of course.
But, I take a picture and import it directly into an app called Facetune. This is what I use to kind of highlight the details in my clothing or in food, or food pictures. After which I take it to Visco Cam, which I'm pretty sure everyone is quite cued about. With Visco, I finish the editing in Visco as well as use their amazing filters. And another app that I discovered only yesterday, which apparently has been around forever, is Dark Room. And I found it really amazing because it's quite similar to Photoshop and Lightroom. You can adjust colors and tones and everything in Darkroom. So that's my procedure. Then I just upload it onto Instagram.
Got it. So you're on Instagram as the Gourmet Runway. I mean, so what do you post most on Instagram?
I think just aspects of my daily life which I find interesting. Like I said, Gourmet Runway is only a year old, so even our Instagram is just evolving. I'm not 100% happy with the way the feed is at the moment, but I think going forward, I'd love to have pictures, equal amounts of pictures of fashion and lifestyle and food. So going forward, I'd love to have pictures of, say, cooking and baking that I've done, as well as outfit posts, as well as travel shots.
Okay.
So yeah, it would be nice to have a combination of all things.
I think you're doing pretty well. You got a lot of followers already. So,
Yes.
any Instagrammers whom you really like?
Oh, so many, so many. I think you discover like
Top
dozens
five?
every day. Top five. Okay. I love Mariana Hewitt. She's a lifestyle blogger from America. Army Song, who's the blogger from Song of Style, who is again from America. Then closer to home, I really like. There's a girl from Bangalore. Her blog is called Big Hair Loud Mouth. Very, very beautiful pictures. In Australia, I love a blog called Harper and Harley. She has a very minimalist style. And the fifth one, the Crisel Factor. Again, I think she's from America. She has a very beautiful and very bright looking blog.
So if let's say the above names or even more, which Instagrammer inspires you the most?
The most at the moment would have to be Mariana Hewitt. She has such a beautiful feed, yeah.
All right. So if there's one thing your fellow bloggers or Instagrammers just have to try right now, what would it be?
I actually came across this app called Anam a couple of days ago. It allows you to see your feed before you actually post your pictures. So you can kind of have a mock. Yeah, and you can add like new pictures and kind of remodel them until you like the way they look. So it's quite handy, yeah.
Okay. So technically you are an influencer, and what's the best part or favorite part you like about being an influencer?
I think rather than saying that, you get to promote the kind of trends you like, I think it's more the kind of appreciation you get as an influencer. I think a lot of people appreciate your work and look up to you for advice. And considering that fashion and food are kind of topics I love to talk about, it's so amazing to get questions and queries from your audiences and be able to answer them. And, because I'm so passionate about it. So I love spreading information about fashion and food and travel and beauty. So that's probably the best part.
So you're partnered with quite a few brands. What's the best part that you like about partnering with brands?
I think I love the process of entrepreneurship and businesses. So when a lot of these smaller brands approach me, I love to kind of get in and see what their process is to build their brand and how they came up with the idea. So the fact that as an influencer, I get a real insight into these businesses and get to see how they're running and how they came to be, it's always so interesting.
Absolutely. So coming to advising, for our listeners especially, is what's the most essential trait of a fashion blogger or a lifestyle blogger rather?
I think you have to be, there's three things I think. Firstly, you have to be really self-motivated. I know a lot of people find it it's very easy for me to kind of forget that I have something to do and just go out and have a good time and have all this work pile up for me. So I have to be really self-motivated. Secondly, I think you have to be really good at multitasking. A lot of people work best when they focus on just one thing, one aspect. So there's a lot of good techies out there. There's a lot of good photographers out there. But as a blogger, you kind of have to be a jack of all trades and be good at almost everything. And thirdly, networking. I think you have to be great at talking to people and getting people to love you and know you and kind of want to work with you. So if you're up for all three of these things, which is not easy, it'd be amazing to be a blogger.
And your advice on the importance of quality of content and also original content?
I think in this day and age when Instagram and Facebook are really cracking down on people who are using copied content, it's very important to be original and create your own content and create good content, because it's the only way that you can grow your following and your engagement. And I think also going forward with all the artificial intelligence that's coming in, and artificial intelligence are going to be writing like the majority of blogs.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's very important to be creative and very, very unique.
Okay. So let's talk in terms of growth. I mean, over the past, you've been doing this for a year now. I mean, let's not count numbers, but how has it been? Has it been staggering growth or more than what you expected?
I think it's been much faster than what I had expected. I think I got lucky in that I was different in India because I was blogging a very almost Aussie influenced style of dressing in a place like India. So I was very different from the other bloggers because there's so many amazing bloggers out there. It's so hard to differentiate yourself. So I think we grew and we spread quite quickly across India. So I think it's been great within India, but globally, which is our next target, it's been quite slow. So that would be 2017's target, just to grow our blog internationally.
Okay. There's so many lifestyle / flash fashion blogs around, I mean, especially in India now. So in what way, I mean, let's say just one aspect that makes your blog different from the others?
I think I would like to say that the fact that I've traveled all around the world and I have these influences from within the fashion world, and I know what it is to live like a normal girl living a corporate life. So I feel like I kind of have an insight into all of these things, which allows my content to kind of reach out to everybody and be a lot more global.
Okay, great. And in terms of you started this 5 years back, then took a break for 3 years, came back to blogging. So what changes or challenges did you face or have you faced in this industry in terms of blogging at least?
I think initially the first challenge was teaching myself to work with things like WordPress and like the technical aspect of blogging, because writing is okay. Anyone can write, anyone can write the paper, and as well as photography, anyone can take photos, but it's how you present them on your website that really matters. If you have a very unprofessional website, no one is going to want to read your content. So the technical aspect was biggest hurdle. As well as at the beginning, obviously, you're writing to pretty much no one because you don't have a following. So the growth at the beginning, as well as the technicalities of blogging, was what I struggled with. Yeah.
So getting out of the blog part of it, I mean, who has inspired you over time, and what's some of the best advice you've been given?
Inspiration. Best advice I can say: a lot of spiritual gurus always say that everyone is here for a purpose and that everyone should follow their dream and purpose. And I realized quite soon that being a chartered accountant at PwC was not going to be my life purpose.
Correct.
It's definitely to find a purpose and to follow through with that purpose in life. In terms of inspirations, I think with blogging inspirations, I think we've been through that. But generally in life, I think I'd have to be really cliched and be like my mother, because like she struggled it out and she came to Australia at a very young age and she had to do a 9-to-5 job and work really hard so we could have this life that we do today. And she always like inspired us to follow our dreams and just to be happy. So it would have to be my mom. Yeah.
Great. And what's something that's getting you really excited at present? Any new feature, launch, anything coming up?
Yes, I think I'm really excited about the fact that Gourmet Runway is becoming a lot more all-encompassing right now, and the fact that I'm going to start writing about a lot more stuff. Really, really passionate about health, stress, and yoga at the moment. So I really want to share my knowledge about that to everybody. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
And where do you see yourself and your blog, let's say in the next 2 to 3 years?
I think I see it as a small to medium scale blog internationally. I want to really reach out to markets all over the world, because I do know that a lot of my topics are very relevant all over the world, and I do want it to reach that global level. So hopefully in 2 to 3 years, I'll be flying around the world for collaborations and traveling like I love to.
Great. So all the best with that. So now we come to a part of the show which is a quick fire round, simple, brief answers. All right. So when people ask you what do you do, how do you answer that?
I say I do whatever I feel like every day.
All right. What's the first word that comes to mind when I say work?
Love.
Family?
Oh, my life.
Entrepreneurship?
Eventual goal.
Technology?
Basic necessity.
Designer?
Me.
Food?
Oh, food. My world.
Okay, tell us which application do you use for travel?
Instagram.
Okay, and your scheduling of meetings?
Oh, just the random notes, and I'm really bad with that.
Okay.
It's paper and pen for
All
me. I'm
right.
old school that way.
What's your favorite accessory that you can't live without?
I got this diamond ring from my mother on my 21st birthday, and that's just always
All
on
right.
my
And what's a piece of tech that you can't live without?
on my iPhone.
And what do you excel at that people might not realize?
I can run 6 kilometers, no hesitation.
Oh, very good. And your favorite city globally?
Oh, probably Dubai.
Okay. Finally, any last thought or advice that you want to give our listeners who may want to start their own blogs?
Yeah, just start now. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? Just start.
All right. And please let our listeners know how they can reach you and also the Gourmet Runway.
Sure. So reach me on Instagram. That's probably the best way because I'm always on Instagram.
Right.
That's at the Gourmet Runway. Also, you can email me at contact@gourmetrunway.com. So my website is gourmetrunway.com and Instagram is at the Gourmet Runway. So don't get confused. And yeah, I'd love to have a chat with everybody.
Great. So again, Shweta, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and hopefully inspiring our listeners to start their own fashion and lifestyle ventures. And all the very best at building Gourmet Runway.
Thank you so much
All right.
for having me.
So do visit gourmetrunway.com and visit us at theasianentrepreneur.com to get the show notes and also subscribe to our show on all the platforms and leave a review on your thoughts about the show. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.